Don't you want it? 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 You lose your little mind.
Deadlights. Welcome to the Deadlights pod. I'm your host, Sam.
And I am Leslie, bringing you your weekly dose of horror.
Doing it.
Woo!
Doing it.
We are here.
And we seem to keep finding new theme songs to accompany this.
We're singers now.
We're singers now.
We're singers.
Do you not get
Pop
that
star?
by now?
No. I mean, we're idols. No, I'm just kidding. Don't edit
Deadlight
that.
idols.
Ew.
Yeah.
Gross. That sounded gross.
Mommy!
That is how you're going to put that in there?
That's how the segue is.
Okay.
That's how. Mommy!
Well, so why did you say mommy?
Because the movie that we just watched, Poltergeist. There's a lot of mommies in the wall.
Yes.
In Poltergeist.
So cute.
Sorry, Carol Ann. But yes, we watched Poltergeist from 1982, directed by Tobe Hooper, written by Steven Spielberg, Michael Grais, and Mark Victor. A family's home is haunted by a host of demonic ghosts. A classic.
Truly.
I would say that this is, in the somewhat mainstream horror films. And glad we pulled it, though, because it's kind of fun to review these quote-unquote classic horror films.
It reminds you why they are what they are.
Very true. There were so many things where I was like, oh, that's why Insidious did this, or that's why The Conjuring did that. Like, it was...
all practical effects, too. It's just so cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not all of them. There are definitely some CGI, early CGI.
Very early. But still has that, I liked that. I like that kind of like nostalgic, almost cartoonish kind of look about it.
Yeah. Very Ghostbusters as well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're already talking about it. Let's jump into the can.
Open that up. Let's talk about the can. And it's interesting because Tobe Hooper directed it, and we've reviewed a Tobe Hooper movie on this podcast before. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh.
That was our live show.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I can see that now.
So he was the director. And then we also have Steven Spielberg, who is the writer and also the producer. And I mean, you can see heavy Steven Spielberg influence in there as well. Very E.T.-esque. The music, the lighting, this center around a family in suburban life. You can see kind of both of their styles coming together. And then we see the gore and the monsters coming from that Tobe Hooper side.
I truly enjoy Steven Spielberg's perspective of children. He gives them an emotional range that I don't think a lot of people were focusing on. They're like, oh, they're children, whatever, let's toss them to the side. But no, they have their own emotional arc.
If I got killed, would I come back as a ghost and get stuck in the house like my sister?
Your sister isn't dead, Robbie.
If I got killed, could I visit her and show her how to get back here?
I really enjoy the script writing of that because it's also emotional.
Yeah. He trusts, first of all, these kid actors to be able to deliver an emotional arc like you're talking about, and they do.
They do.
And also that makes them like real people, which they are. They would be
They're little human beings.
Yeah, they're going through their own experience along with the adults that they themselves too are trying to navigate this insane situation that they're in. And I think that you're right. The script does a great job of guiding us through everyone's emotional arc.
When you make something so like the spirits, the ghosts, so whimsical, it makes it really, really Disney. Very, like, I was thinking of, what is it called? Fantasia?
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Of just kind of like, and then you see someone digging into their skin, and piles of meat and flesh are landing in the sink.
Great effect.
Blah.
Great effect.
Oh.
And that comes,
Ooh.
that's insane. Like coming out of this like E.T.-esque moment of just like, oh, the strings, Steven Spielberg, niceness. And then we have a man tearing into his flesh. Like, whoa. And makes that moment even better.
Oh my gosh. It does. Because like, we hadn't experienced that yet. We were literally just going with the, oh, look at that chair fucking moved across the room.
Ha ha ha, it's fun.
Beautiful. Oh, look at this fun game I discovered.
Yeah.
And then their child is gone. And then we have meat just like falling out of meat. And then maggots. I hate maggots, Sam.
Oof. Yes, you've said that
I
before.
hate them so much.
They sell this so well. And the effects, it still holds up in a way. You know, it
All
just
the
all
effects.
works together very, very well. And I noticed as going back to the cinematography of it, I noticed as the film went on, we're starting off in this very like idyllic suburb, very bright, happy times,
Everybody knows each other.
light everywhere. It's mostly during the day too. But as the film goes on, the story is spending more and more time at night, and we're getting a lot more shadows on people's face. People are backlit too, so they're kind of silhouetted. And the film just slowly, without you realizing it, goes into a darker and darker place.
Now let's go get your daughter.
I want to
Beep,
get
beep.
your opinion about the acting in this movie, since we're in the can still.
Yeah. The acting, I think, works really well for this movie because the parents are supposed to symbolize that idealistic family dynamic that we implemented back in the 1950s. But like they're also cool and modern. They like smoke weed and they know their child is going out and like, you know, sleeping because they're a child. Well, not a child. They're 16 years old. They're coming to, and the mom knows that she can't stop her. So might as well just let her go. And so like they have this like cool style of parenting, and then they love each other. Like the husband and the wife love each other, and they love their children, and they're working at it. They got pregnant so young, and they're at a place where like they feel like they were able to get to. They're like, look at us go.
Yeah. And again, they do, you know, through the acting, really feel naturally like a family.
Yes.
And then the script allows them to kind of have full characters. Each of them has their own thing, has their own fears, has their own, you know, pasts. And they put it in there extremely naturally. I never really felt like there was any expository writing going on or anything that was being really heavily put in our face about their past or what's going on. But these people felt real. You know, they felt like a real family that, yeah, you're right, has been working at this for a really long time.
Ask Dad. Ask Dad. Ask Dad. Ask Dad. Ask Dad. Hey!
What I really enjoyed is that usually you don't get a lot of this kind of the husband absolutely allowing, you know, the wife to have a place and recognize that she is doing work. Just because she is a house mom, she is doing work. And he never talks to her badly. He never tells her she's crazy. He like sees what's going on and also is there with her to be in the reality that their child got swallowed up by the closet.
Their child is missing.
Their child is missing.
Yeah.
And they're working at it together, and they can recognize that one of them is absolutely losing it, which is the dad.
Mm-hmm.
Not the mom. The mom is staying strong.
We've been trying to hold ourselves together as a family. Of course, no one's been sleeping much. Stephen has missed so much work, but he's been wonderful, really wonderful.
By the end of the movie, I realized that she was the main character. The wife, Diane,
Yeah, Diane.
was the main character because everything surrounded her. The success of them finding Carol Ann again, and then at the end, the Poltergeist makes one last effort. She's the one that then has to go in and save the children. The success of everyone getting out of that situation goes back to Diane.
Yeah.
She is
The Rock.
the hero. Well, let's get into the meat of it.
Let's do it. What? And where are they?
Oh, there was meat.
There was
There
so much
because of the
meat.
clip. Sorry about that. Because really, there's a lot of, when we start digging into it, there is a lot of meat going on in this movie. I mean, they really do have. I think if there is one thing that's pretty heavily handed in this movie, it is this idea of like building on top of graves and then the dead coming back. And, that goes back to reaping what you sow.
Yeah.
The things that you do coming back and haunting you.
How much room for a pool is there?
We own all the land. We've already made arrangements for relocating the cemetery. It's not ancient tribal burial ground, it's just people. Besides, we've done it before.
But the thing about horror movies, they didn't realize they were in a horror movie. And we did. So we're like, oh, that's a surefire way for the dead to come
Wow.
back and haunt you. And they definitely did.
They were absolutely flying towards the family at the end.
Yeah. By the end, they were just coming out of like literal graves and just.
Also, one thing that I realized is that, there is this sense of individuality that the mom had throughout the whole film.
Oh, shit. Tweety, couldn't you have waited for school day?
That was rather fucking
We
rad.
definitely need to talk about her character because she revealed some things about herself that, definitely made her feel like more of a real fleshed out character.
Once I sleptwalked 4 blocks, and I fell asleep in the back of this guy's car. Oh, God, I woke up, I started screaming. People came running from everywhere. They called the cops. The cops came. They took this poor dude downtown. My father, Ed. Big Ed has me examined for like bruises and hickeys, you name it. Oh God, I was so embarrassed.
They delivered that moment very slyly. I feel like if, we weren't paying that close of attention, we could just miss that. But because they were saying it while they were joking and while they were high.
Yeah.
So
While the husband had already done a push-up on the bed, and then he like got up and started kind of doing some martial art kind of movements.
Jackknife into the swan. Twist, turn, and splice.
they already experienced that. They don't have to talk about it. But the way that they reveal the information is how people kind of talk about things without really talking about them. So it makes her more of a real character and gives her a little more weight of a character. It also shows how supportive he is, because if they've been together that long, he's been by her side that long through, you know, two more kids too.
15 years at least. Yeah.
So, and they seem, like you said, to be happy and in a good place. And I feel like that's typically, especially in horror movies, when this shit starts to come up, when this trauma starts to come back, and you got to deal with it.
Son of a bitch, you moved the cemetery, but you left the bodies, didn't you? You son of a bitch, you left the bodies and you only moved the headstones! You only moved the headstones! Why?
But yeah, like we mentioned also that like Insidious kind of came about and the way that they themselves were, I think, yeah, even down to the parents.
Yeah,
Like-
it was very similar. There was a lot of parallels that I saw between this and Insidious, and even the shots. Some of the shots were like of the exterior of the house that they were in. These like sweeping shots, exactly the same shots that you can see in Insidious. The only thing that I think that Insidious does do that but the Poltergeist doesn't do is there is that moment of the husband denying it. There is Patrick Wilson does for a little bit not accept what's going on.
You're not here with me in this situation. You're just avoiding it.
God, stop saying that, okay? I don't avoid stressful situations. I'm just dealing with them my own fucking way.
Last thing I wanted to mention in the meat was this TV motif that we keep going back to as well. There's so many TVs in this film, and that's actually the mode of transport for this demonic ghost to come into the house. And so I thought that that was an interesting choice, because, you know, we're talking about this idyllic suburb, but what are the ways that evil can still get inside of our houses through television?
They're here.
All right, let's get to the cook.
Yeah, let's get to the good.
Let's go on into the cook. What I really like about the cook of this movie is that it pretty much is like starts right away.
Yeah.
Like that scene of Carol Ann first contacting the TV people. Yeah, that's the first scene.
What do you look like? Talk loud, I can't hear you. Hey, hello, I can't hear you.
And then the strangeness just kind of starts ramping up from there. And it really doesn't let up, which I think that that's great. I think that keeps the movie really driving and really just moving forward. Like every day and every night there was something weirder that was going on.
Yeah, it didn't take its time.
No.
It wanted to swallow up the house.
What I like about it is that most of the things that are scary are things that go back to what people are scared of.
Oh,
like
the clown?
The clown, the tree, even at the end,
the storm.
the storm, even at the end when Diane is attacked in her bed and it seems like this ghost is trying to rape her, that goes back to this old trauma that she has.
Trauma.
Feels like it's getting inside of your head rather than just like a person that's trying to attack you. It's trying to like torture you mentally.
Oh, yeah.
And you're right. So do you think that going back to the rearranging of the furniture, do you think that was also kind of a disarming thing? Like to like be like, oh, because then the scene after that is her like moving the chair and she's like, woo!
Yeah, she was like, oh my God.
And then she even has like Carol Ann like moved too.
What if that was that when she sacrificed her daughter?
I mean, the spirit didn't seem to mind moving Carol Ann across the floor.
She was like, oh my God. And she had been doing that with Caroline, or no, what's her
Carol
name?
Ann?
Carol Ann.
Carol
Ann.
dash Ann.
Carol Ann.
Carol Ann.
Because she had the helmet on.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, it was all like fun and games then. But then when the switch happened, like it was a big switch because switch happened when the tree broke through the child's window and literally grabbed him. And I was like, whoa, we're taking a hard left turn.
Absolutely.
This is not ET anymore.
We
ET go home. ET gone home. I kind of in the cook wanted to talk about the I didn't get her name, the teenage daughter, the oldest daughter.
I don't know. She was barely there.
She's barely. That was kind of the thing that I wanted to mention is, at a certain point, the movie kind of felt like they forgot about her. Mm-hmm. Like, because all this shit's ramping up, and they like slightly mention that she's been like staying with friends a lot, but then they send the son to go to the grandparents in the cab, and the dog. They send the dog too.
He fucking throws his suitcase in the car like a fucking grown ass man. I don't
And then
remember.
she's not there though.
No, she's not there.
The teenage daughter isn't there, so
Because she's with friends. With her boyfriend.
or someone, yeah. But then, like, yeah, so it kind of just feels like the movie like forgot about that character, and then right at the end, literally, her boyfriend drops her off because they're like, "Oh yeah, we got to get her back into this movie and back with the family."
I just feel like they actually wrote a teenager's life.
So you better get Brian to bring you home right after dinner because Dad wants us to stay at the Holiday Inn on I-74.
Oh, yeah, I remember that place.
You what?
Yeah.
She was just gone. She's out there partying.
Do you think it was trying to mirror Diane?
Probably. I think also she just didn't want to put rules on her because she's like, she's gonna break them. I did, you know. She probably came from a very strict family and she rebelled. And so she's like, meh, might as well. Just, I know where she's at least. And she always comes home, you know. Yeah, with a fucking hickey on her neck, but
How many dudes were in that car too?
There's
like
three of them.
right? Dang,
wait, she doesn't have to be dating all of them.
that's fair.
She's dating one. And then
She-
the two are best friends
Okay,
that probably are
they
with the...
watch.
Blah. Okay, my question to you is, what the hell is that? Is that ectoplasm? Like, is that supposed to be like the slime from like Ghostbusters?
It kind of seemed like that. Yeah, I think that was just. That's the world that ghosts live in. It's just very goopy and very ectoplasmy.
It's so gross.
Makes sense why they want to get out.
Oh yeah, you're just like swimming in Jello
Yeah.
the whole time. You're
Gross.
just like,
Well, how about we get to the thrill?
okay. Yeah.
Let's talk about these
Let's-
ghosts. These, as described in the log line, demonic ghosts. And we
Demonic
asked, are they demons or are they
ghosts.
ghosts? And I guess they're both.
Yeah, I guess they're both. There's ghosts that are in this in between where the demons live, I guess. Mm-hmm. Hell.
Hell.
Some people would call that hell.
The in-between.
The in between.
Yeah, some sort of like parallel dimension that we can't see, but maybe kids are
Hearing it.
hearing
They're
it.
hearing it because they have
seeing
more
it.
frequencies.
More frequencies, more taste buds.
More taste buds.
Yep.
More eyesights.
But yeah, and they also do explain that it's a poltergeist. They said it.
They said it.
Poltergeist are usually associated with an individual. Hauntings seem to be connected with an area.
Yeah, so this thing is some sort of evil that is coming after our children. And like we already talked about a little bit, what's cool about it and what is very Pennywise-esque is that it preys off of our fears,
Our fears.
deep down fears.
God damn. And would I lose my sanity? I would.
Would you be the Steve? He kind of just drinks it away.
Look, I would like to know that I am strong, but to go through all of that, that's a lie.
We see what
I don't
happened.
blame anybody for losing it.
Diane ends up like aged because
Yeah.
of it. Literally, she has gray hair.
Are you going to do anything about this? About what? Your new gray? Oh. What? You don't like it? You don't think it's kind of punk?
God damn, she looked great for 31.
Yeah. Yeah, killing it. Diane's killing it.
Killing
and she made
the
it through.
game.
She did.
She did.
Despite she did overcome that trauma and Win the kids.
Win the kids.
She won the kids.
Yeah, so spookiness to me, all of
Spookiness.
that. And then you add practical effects, you add the skeletons, you add light, and then it didn't care about it's looking nice anymore. So it literally opened up the tunnel.
The tunnel of goop. The goopy tunnel
The goopy tunnel.
that it wanted to suck everyone into.
And boy, did they.
And boy, did they.
They
That
did.
is for sure.
Yep. And then also that dog. That dog had a part. Going back to, so sorry.
That's true.
The meat.
I didn't catch the dog's name. Good boy.
Good boy.
The good boy.
The good boy. So
Yes,
cute.
He was very cute.
It did this thing where it like got on its hind legs.
Sit pretty. Sit pretty.
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to the ride.
Whee!
I thought I had fun.
I had fun.
I had a very good time.
I had a better time. No, I'm just kidding.
No, I had a better time.
No, I like this movie.
Me too.
God damn.
Me too. Me
Yeah.
too. Like I said before, the first scene, we're getting paranormal things going on. And then from there, it just keeps ramping up. And it was very enjoyable, very engaging, and pretty meaty. Meatier than I thought it was going to be.
I forgot about the skeletons popping up and throwing themselves at the family.
That was pretty dope. That was-
Totally forgot about that.
yeah.
I forgot about the skeleton that kind of seals the door at the end. Wow, it was fun. It was fun.
And then, I mean, it didn't end like I would say a typical Spielbergian movie would end, where it's like a happy ending. We all made it
Yes.
out super cool. It really ended. I mean, they made it out, but very much like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. What trauma now is all these people going to have from this event?
Yes.
Like, because they are all fucking tired and drained from what they just went through. None of them are going to be okay. They're
No.
all going to have to process what just happened.
They are already traumatized
Yeah.
because the dad took the TV out of the room.
Thanks, Toby.
What's next for them?
What's next? Poltergeist 2. See you there.
That is
The
true.
trauma continues.
Ooh.
Yikes.
Did they build another house on top of a grave?
I wouldn't be surprised. It seems like very much them.
That's their
That developer, that real estate developer, seems like he's coming back. Wasn't that bad. It's like bulldoze the house for us.
And then like we
empty lot.
get revealed in the middle that like it's his company. And they're like, "Oh, we can't live in a fucking house."
What if reveals that the Holiday Inn is built on a cemetery?
Oh my god, that'd be fun. Or they stop living in houses and they start sleeping in RVs, and then they take their RV to like the RV camping sites.
Oh no!
And then the campsite is on a grave.
I've never seen Poltergeist 2, so all these things could be possible.
We take it to the forest.
Take it to the forest. Yeah.
Well,
All right,
wow.
Poltergeist.
Poltergeist.
1982. Thank you very much, Poltergeist. Let's get to these Smash Pumpkins.
They're here.
They're here. Do you have a number?
Yes.
Okay.
I
Leslie?
think this is my first or second 5.
5.
I think it's my second.
There it is. 5 out of 5.
My goodness. I enjoy this movie for all the reasons we talked about. But overall, I think it's a really great story. And the practical effects. How can you not like them?
Mm-hmm.
How can you not? And I like this story of the dead kind of, seeking revenge, and then there being a supernatural aspect. I mean, I did ask for one. Remember?
You asked for it.
I asked for it. I wanted something in the supernaturalness, and we pulled Poltergeist. Beautiful.
One of the most classic
Amazing.
ones. Yeah.
Now let's see if we can pull Insidious.
Whoa, she put it out there. And I think that Poltergeist, we already said it, it's a classic, and it remains a classic for a reason. Not only within the horror genre, but within film in general. I think it does stand out still.
It's great.
And so it transcends the genre, and the story itself, I think, just transcends and is relatable for so many people. And so that's the reason that it's, really stuck around, which is really commendable. That Tobe Hooper and Steven Spielberg and all these filmmakers were able to make a story and make a film that can transcend so many people and lines and all this kind of stuff.
So great.
And still give us a scary movie.
A scary movie and a cult classic.
Yep. And, 40 years later, it still delivers. 41 years later.
41 years later.
It still delivers. Yeah. And, when we really start digging into it and really start talking about these themes and these characters and the scripts, it all really feels fleshed out. And it's hard to fault it.
It's hard to fault it.
Hard to fault it. So I'll jump on the 5 train.
Yeah! Woo!
Double 5.
Double 5.
You did it, Poltergeist. You delivered hard.
And it's one of those movies that in the past I've heard of it being so great, and I just didn't take the time to see it. And then, but I'm glad I fucking did. I can see how, and all these other horror directors and writers have gotten elements from it.
That was the other thing that I forgot to mention of we saw so many motifs that are repeated after that. And that, again, goes back to its influence on the genre and on filmmaking.
Yep.
Boom, Poltergeist.
That's why it's a 5/5.
This house is clean.
Hey, let's see what we got for next week.
Yeah, let's do it. I think you get 2. Cool.
All right, so you said Insidious.
I want Insidious.
Now, it is through my hand, so we'll see if you can manifest it. All right.
Oops.
Wait, are you serious?
Shut the fuck up.
Are you serious? Leslie just fucking called that. A family looks to prevent evil spirits from trapping their comatose child in a realm called the Further. From 2010.
Sam,
Insidious.
My heart is beating so fast.
Everyone can witness it. We just pulled what Leslie asked for. Woo! What the fuck? Through my hand.
I'm having a panic attack.
Oh, wow.
My hands are shaking.
Thank you, horror.
Fuck.
I pulled it and I did not see anything except the first 2 words, which were a family. And after I pulled it, I then opened it up and the first thing I saw was a family. I was like, okay. Wow.
Oh my god. I am shaking. Oh my god. You can follow me on Instagram. Color me Leslie.
And me at BP Pritchie T. And us at the Deadlights Pod. Also follow Peg on social, which is the studio that we're recording this from. We'll see you next week for Insidious.
Spooky.
What the hell's going on in here?
What the fuck?